going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. The penultimate episode of Survivor Season 46 just aired, so let's go and talk about it. Last week we saw Venus go home, and that made it 3 straight and 5 on the season of survivors going home with an idol in their pocket. They get back to camp. Kenzie says, "Who voted for me?" Ben says, "Hey, it was me. I drew a blank and wrote your name on accident." He actually did say in a confessional, like, for real, not lying, just had a slip up in the game and wrote her name. Kenzie is like, that's a pretty big blunder to have, especially at this time in the game, really. She's like, the names aren't even similar. Like Venus, Kenzie, like, what are we doing here? Liz, Q, and Charlie go talk to Maria. She's, sitting by the water upset because she felt Venus attacked her character. They all sit there and comfort her. But I'm sorry, really, I don't think anything Venus said was out of line at that tribal council, really. Maria talking about her resume and says, if they aren't trying to get me out, that's their mistake. Ben is really struggling with everything, having panic attacks during the night. Kenzie goes off and walks with him to try to comfort him. Kenzie says, I don't care that he wrote my name down, wouldn't let him go through this alone, and she's been there comforting him every night. Liz reveals the next morning that she finally had a bowel movement. Way to go, Liz. Dropped weight and now is ready to move forward to the end of the game. Charlie has given himself 2 pathways through the next vote. One is going with Kenzie, Ben, and Liz to take out Maria and Q to get to that final 4, or sticking with Maria and Q. He's just weighing what's best for his game, but now we move into the reward challenge. The winner is taken to the sanctuary for Chinese takeout. Then we go through the challenge. Maria's first to the ending maze part with Q right behind, but Charlie ends up coming back and wins the reward. And then Jeff throws a curveball at him. Not only do you get that reward, Chinese takeout at the sanctuary, but you're finishing the reward with letters from home, just to put even more weight on this decision for Charlie. And then obviously everyone wants those letters from home. Everyone wants to hear from loved ones. Obviously Maria wants to hear from her kids. She's emotional. Kenzie is as well. And, actually from Kenzie, and this is crazy, she said that her wedding was actually supposed to be the day prior to this challenge. But her and her fiance had moved it because she had this opportunity to come on Survivor. So, obviously everyone wants to hear from their loved ones, especially at this point in the game. You want that extra fuel to just get you towards the end of the game. Kind of figured this who he's going to pick going in. Chose Liz and Kenzie. Apologizes to Maria, but man, this family one, once you get families involved, always makes it that much more emotional. We get to the reward. Liz can finally eat. She finally gets chosen for a reward. Charlie said he knew basically kind of going in, he won, that it's got to be Kenzie and Liz, because also that's kind of what I thought too. They didn't get the reward last time and didn't get to eat the pizza last episode. Charlie says how close her and Maria are and how they've been saying they're Malcolm and Denise. We've, noted that before, but says, they'll be okay. She'll understand this. But we jump over to camp and Maria is still very upset. She says that him and Charlie said if either of them won a reward that they weren't going to take the other. So I guess Charlie did listen to what they talked about. Obviously don't want to raise too much suspicion about how close they really were working together this whole game. But obviously this is hard because the letters from her kids back home make it that much more emotional and tough, once you're in that situation. Everyone gets emotional reading their letters, and rightfully so. This episode is always so good. It's always such a good, reward challenge to get, but it is just emotional. Always get teary-eyed at home, seeing the survivors get these letters from home. Charlie reveals in his letters from his family, they told him to play to win. He said that might be the push he needed to make the decisions that he needs to win, and that would be betraying Maria. Consensus of them is someone's got to beat Maria in the immunity challenge in order to take her out. Maria and Q are back at camp looking for the idol, and holy cow, Q actually does find the idol. He's debating if he should tell Maria, and he does end up telling Maria. He said, you need to trust someone in this game, and she's his number one. He said that he'd play it for her, and Maria wants to get Liz out. She's not worried about Charlie doing anything with them when Q brings it up, but she says, does Charlie actually need to go before any of them? First time she's voiced possibly going after Charlie. She said if he goes to the final 3, he beats anyone. Charlie and Maria talk when they get back and talk about understanding why he did what he did. It seems like we're coming to a Charlie versus Maria vote here, kind of showdown here before tribal council, and it all depends on who wins that immunity challenge. And does Q's idol factor in and get involved? I think it has to. Charlie doesn't think she's considering blindsiding him. They say whatever happens, we'll be friends no matter what. But they're about to go head to head. We get to the immunity challenge and a guaranteed spot in the finale on the line. Maria gets to the puzzle first, But Ben and Maria are actually right there, going back and forth. Everyone was really in it at the end at the puzzle, but Maria just goes on an absolute tear and wins another immunity. So Maria, guaranteed spot in the finale, guaranteed spot in the final five. And Charlie may be in trouble tonight. No, scratch that. Charlie is in trouble tonight. Charlie seems to be pivoting to Q now that obviously the Maria blind side can't happen. And since Maria is off the table, Q seems to be everyone's move to actually get Q out of the game. That's been talked about for the last 7 episodes, possibly. This is what episode 12. Seems like we've been talking about getting out Q for half the season. Will it actually happen tonight? I don't know, because Q and Maria are talking about getting Charlie out, and Maria knows that now it might be time to be putting her trust in her number two, that is Q, or her number one this whole game, that was Charlie. Q tells Kenzie and Liz it's Charlie. Kenzie and Liz are just playing along. They don't want to work with him at all, but they're just going along with it. But unfortunately, if Q brings his idol out, it's not much options for any of them. But obviously, none of them know that besides Maria. Kenzie, Liz, and Maria talk about getting Charlie out. They're playing along with Maria, say that's fine. But obviously, little do they know about Q's idol that could possibly be coming into effect here, or coming into play here, should I say. Charlie's worried about leaving Maria out of the vote, and will it hurt them tomorrow? And right when he said that, I said, oh no. Because if he's opening this vote back up to Maria, then now that opens Maria's opportunity to be like, hey, they're coming after you, play your idol tonight, then they can have their shot at whoever they're getting. Obviously, they're looking at Charlie here. But Charlie asked Maria, would you consider voting Q out? She said, yeah, she's playing along. They even check in right before Tribal, and cool. Seems like she's just playing along. But Q and Maria seem fairly confident, maybe a little bit too confident in the edit we got here. But no way we get 4 people going home in a row with idols in their pocket, right? Like, there's no way that happens. But we get to Tribal Council. They come in very lively. Jeff forgets his popcorn. I don't know how you're feeding popcorn. This has been some of the best Tribal Councils we had. Like, this was like 7 straight tribals that have been absolutely incredible. I wouldn't put this one up with, some of the last couple, but it was still a very, very good tribal council. It's been an awesome season so far, and, we got the finale next week. But we also get a note that I wish we would have got at the time of the challenge to give more appreciation in the moment, but Rhea gets her third individual immunity win, just one shy of tying the record of 4 for Women Immunity Challenge wins in Survivor. And that's with the 39 days involved. This isn't just a new era. This is all of Survivor when, not 26 days, 39 days, not the whole thing. So 39 days are in there as well. So very impressive for Maria, and shout out to her. Charlie with a good point here. You tell the wrong person the wrong thing or wrong info, and it all messes up your game. And that's what I'm thinking in my head. Messed up telling Maria this now, because now we could be getting Q playing her idol and Charlie going home. They're talking about his alliance is really a thing. No, not really. Liz has a good point. Says it's more of kind of power coupled right now. So we get to the vote, and Q does not play his idol, and boom, Q goes home. 4 in a row going home with idols in their pocket. Obviously, it's nothing that we've ever seen before. It was a record last week. Never seen anything like this before. And now Maria got caught. She had these intentions to turn on Charlie, who was her number one this whole game. But now she got caught because the move didn't work. Because the other people who she had thought that was going after Charlie because knew he was a threat, they didn't do that. They went with Charlie because he had already done such a good job of planting these seeds throughout the game and building these relationships that he set up this vote. So now she got caught. But we got the season finale next week. I don't think there'll really be much animosity between them two. I think that was kind of that conversation that we saw, like, we'll be friends no matter what. Seemed like there was kind of an understanding from them, like, hey, if one of us has to go at each other, we have to go with each other. I wouldn't even be surprised if they said that, just didn't put that on camera, obviously. I think that'll be fine. And obviously at this point now, it's just, hey, win 2 immunity challenges and you're in that final 3. Win 1 more immunity challenge and you at least, at bare minimum, have a fighting chance of getting to that final 3. Obviously talking about the fire making challenge at that final 4. But anyway, this has been an incredible season so far. One of the best 2, maybe 3 at worst, new era seasons. I might even put it at number 1, but we'll evaluate that after next week's season finale. But it's been an incredible season. Looking forward to discussing the finale next week. And right now, kind of stock check right now, I think, as many good moves as Maria has made, after tonight, I gotta put Charlie at that number one spot. Then I gotta say in that second spot, I gotta put Kenzie right now. She's done a good job, for the most part, being on the right side of votes. There's been, what, one or two votes that I think she's been left off on. But I think she's well liked by the people still remaining in the game. I think for the most part, pretty much everyone on the jury likes her as well. So I think if she gets there with the right group, if for Kenzie, if she can somehow get Charlie and Maria out at 5 and 4, and she can go to the end with Liz and Ben, I think that's the easiest route for her to win. I still think it's possible if she goes there with, Maria, Ben, Liz, like a combination, even Charlie. I really think it's really open right now in terms of, one or two big moves here in the finale could really help put someone over the edge. I think that's how close this race is right now. But I'm sticking with, I got Charlie right now. If he can get to the end right now, and I had to put him up against anyone at this point, I think he beats anyone there. And right now, resume wise, it's probably Maria that should be in second. But I don't think Charlie and Maria both make it to the end. So that's why I put Kenzie there in that two spot, Maria at, right behind at three right now in terms of, stock check rankings right now. But anyway, looking forward to the finale next week. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.